funds to support. We have gotten support from every town within the community. So what that means is that now every child will have the opportunity to receive books like The Very Hungry Caterpillar's Nature Walk, The Underlying Magic, and my personal favorite, K is for Kindness. So this is a book that is a good read. It has a lot of really good things in there for children. So I'm really excited about that and my partnership with the Adams County Library. And I am continuing, now volunteer with them, and I'm continuing with them to help enroll. Enrollment as of today was 522. So we had 212 for Littlestown in the program, and no bumps for our kiddos, they just go right into that. We will be meeting as a board on this Wednesday, and we will be developing our goals for the year and looking at what we are going to be bringing to help support beyond what we currently already do for the district. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the board. We take the summer off. So I'm looking forward to getting back with my board and getting their heads together. And would like to thank Dr. Mitchell, who resigned. He's a member. We'll be welcoming Dr. Berryman in this place as we have a seat on our board for an administrative person. So thank you and welcome. Even though you're not officially till Wednesday, I can do that in advance. And then I will be hanging around to discuss the donation portion. If you have any questions about that process. And that's it for me. Perfect. Short and sweet, which is an offer.
Any questions for Mrs. Becker? Thank you, Mrs. Becker. We now recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. During this call, please approach the podium and state your name, confirm you are a resident or taxpayer in the district, and the topic of discussion. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole and not to an individual. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or a recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker is not under reasonable form and illegal conduct. And the board would also like to ask that in accordance with our policies and procedures that all that sign up to provide public comment, please fill out the entire form, including your topic. Discussion will thank those who did, and going forward, please fill out the entire form for the district's records. First speaker is Rachel Hutchison.
Thank you. My name is Rachel Hutchison, and I am a resident of Littlestown. Children that have graduated from the schools and one currently in the high school. I'm a taxpayer, and I am also running for school board in the November election. So I'm going to touch on two things, finances, and then the other one's just a couple notes on the acting superintendent information. So just a reminder, and I know you don't need reminders about the financial situation in Pennsylvania, and we're still awaiting that budget. I just want to remind the board and everyone that it's extremely important that the state budget gets approved with the additional funding for schools throughout the entire Commonwealth. Cyber school reform is included in there to help get monies back to the districts, monies that we have been from court order, basically. The Supreme Court of the Commonwealth stated that we were underfunded. 70% of the districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are underfunded in the amount of money they receive from the state. Because we can't put every single dollar burden on our community members. We need to be advocating for the Commonwealth to make these changes. And I think it is our role, not just as community members, but as you, the board, to help us with that. So contacting our state legislatures and reminding them that it's important that they're properly funding schools. just about every person is going to say that properly funded schools are important to our future. I don't know many people that would say it isn't. So I ask for your support in that matter. And I do know there was a comment, this is a statewide issue. This isn't just a Littlestown issue, but that actually gives us a great point in time where we, as districts across the entire Commonwealth, can stand up and say, no, we're not going to stand for this, we need change. So I say we all work together to do that. I also took the time to read through the minutes, saw that we do have the approval of an acting superintendent on the list. I did my own little Googling and looking, and I was very excited to see the experience of Dr. Al Moyer. He has past experience as a superintendent. He was director of McDaniel's Educational Leadership Program and also is currently a member of the Gettysburg Area School District Board of Directors. So I was happy to see that someone with that amount of experience and breadth was both applied in such a short time frame and also selected by the board. I know there were a lot of questions that came up at the last board meeting. Should there be an acting superintendent? Should someone who's currently in staff, be put into that role? Just a note, I stepped out of the meeting, had a conversation with some folks that actually really helped me because it put some things in my mind that I hadn't thought of, but I also didn't hear the board speaking to. For instance, teachers are a lot of administration, stuff like that, that's contractual, it's very different than the normal world, the normal corporate world. When somebody left, you got told you're doing their job too, tough, that's how it works. That's not how it works here, then explain that. Maybe say, hey, we can't just put those duties on someone else. Not saying that those people aren't qualified, but they have the opportunity to apply if they'd like to step into that role, or something like that. I think it just helps the community to better understand what's going on when we hear those explanations. And that was really it. I'm just excited to see Dr. Moyer come on. I want to thank Dr. Mitchell for the time he spent with me needing to help me understand more about the board and its roles, and good luck.
Suzanne Johnson. Ms. Johnson, what's your topic for the record?
I know that's your preference, but I'm not required. My name is Suzanne Johnson, and as a district parent and taxpayer, I'm outraged by the way politics and personal agendas have corrupted this school board. This isn't leading with integrity or transparency, and isn't putting students first. Clearly, things have gone seriously off the rails when there are 2 superintendent and 4 board member resignations in less than 2 years. And you cannot correct course and restore public confidence unless you act with the utmost integrity and transparency. And I'm not talking about aiming for the bare minimum that you can get away with. First, let's be clear. I haven't heard anyone arguing that we don't want someone to complete the superintendent duties upon the resignation of Dr. Mitchell. No one's saying that. If you listen to what many of your constituents, including the previous speaker, had alluded to, they would like to do this in the most cost-neutral way, which is to have the assistant superintendent serve as acting superintendent. We have seen many districts doing this, including Dover, where Dr. Mitchell is heading. After their assistant superintendent was acting superintendent before being promoted to superintendent. We are again asking why this board is supporting more spending on central office positions when you are relying on rainy day funds for our students' needs, such as the autism classroom. And you're reducing classroom positions through retirement, such as our middle school math teacher, despite only 18% of our 8th graders being proficient in math. That's where you should be spending money, not on central office. But you want us to believe you're putting students first. Beyond the additional cost of at least $1,500 per week for the proposed acting superintendent contract, you don't instill confidence that you're looking for the best leadership possible when that vacancy was posted on the website for a grand total of 3.5 business days. Wow, you're casting a wide net there. Without putting the resignation of the superintendent or creation of a new position on agendas for open meetings to allow for public comment before taking the action of posting that position. Then we all see Gettysburg School Director Al Moyer at last week's meeting, and we put the pieces together that he was there for the interviewing that was being done last week, and that this rushed and questionable process must have been the last straw leading to President Thompson's resignation following school director Moyer's and Superintendent Mitchell's resignations. There are potential conflicts of interest concerns with the Gettysburg School Board member serving as our acting superintendent in this district, which is considered a 10th member of our school board. So how can he be on 2 school boards at once? I don't know. Further, it isn't clear how Mr. Moyer can fulfill some of his duties in the proposed contract, which specifies, quote, the acting superintendent will attend all board meetings and committee meetings and devote his full-time attention, energy, skills to his office, and will undertake all duties required as acting superintendent, end quote. What happens, like tonight, when there's a Gettysburg school board meeting and a Littlestown school board meeting at the same time? I can only assume that's why he isn't here this evening. How can he really devote his full time to being acting superintendent for Littlestown while he also has obligations to his Gettysburg area school district's constituents and to his responsibilities as director of the Gettysburg Recreation Council? Will he be resigning from the Gettysburg School Board or Recreation Council to really devote his full time and attention to being Littlestown's acting superintendent? I strongly urge this board to reconsider this candidate and alternatively consider the most cost-neutral solution of having the assistant superintendent serve as acting superintendent, just as many other districts have done. There are transparent ways to handle transition of the highest administrative positions in this district that instill public confidence in school leadership. Instead, what's being done is illegal and reeks of corruption. At the November 4th general election, voters need to demand change for what's best for students, teachers, and taxpayers. Finally, with the new announcement this evening, I'm looking forward to seeing the results of the district's new video streaming of the board's meetings. Since I haven't heard discussion of the cost at any board meetings, I can only assume it didn't have anywhere near the cost of $50,000 or $80,000 or whatever it was that was quoted 2 years ago, and was the excuse to limit recording to audio instead of video up to this point. Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan, do you have a topic that you're going to be addressing?
Oh, it's various. First of all, I want to address a misconception that I've heard twice now in public comment about state funding. What everybody's failing to realize is when you're asking for more state money, what you're asking for is more taxpayer money. Now, you can say we didn't raise taxes this year. You can say that, which we didn't. That's fine. But on the other end, if we ask for more state money, the state doesn't produce anything. They get the money from us. So it's disingenuous to say don't raise taxes, but we need more money from the state. States don't get it from us. So if they do get it, they do give us more money, our taxes are going to go up. They may not go up as property taxes, but they're certainly going to go up as state taxes. We all pay. So that, I need you to straighten that up, number one. Number two, I want to address Dr. Mitchell's resignation tonight. I'm upset. I talked to Fred Miller about this too, about the fact that we had wasted a lot of money, over $4,000 to do the superintendent search. And to no avail, me and Fred stood up and said, we didn't pick the right person. And nobody listened to me, or Fred. And here we are. This is where we're at. Not even a year later, Dr. Mitchell has resigned. I think that we should do a better job of vetting and understanding who we're hiring for that position, or any position therefore. Because to be honest with you, I spent a lot of my time doing this, and I feel like I've wasted it. Just like I said back on 6/17/2024, I wasted my time. Fred said it too. Fred asked me to speak. Fred's only 2 words was good riddance. That's what he told me to say. That's what he told me to say. I did not say that. Fred Miller said that. So I will clarify that by saying, you know, I wish this board would do a better job of getting a superintendent that will come in here and advance this district in ways that it needs to be advanced, not cause discourse, lack of transparency, all the other stuff that's been going on in this district for too long is still going on. I'm hoping that the next move on the next superintendent pick will be something that will definitely bring our district a whole different view. Because I would like to see Littlestown, I've often said, I would like to see Littlestown as the place everybody wants to come. Right now, I talk to people, and I talk to a lot of people, and they are saying this is the place you want to move away from. And to be honest with you, that's sad. That's really sad. I don't like living in a district where people are telling me that. I mean, every one of you should feel the same way I do. We should want people to come here for this school. We should want people to come here for Littlestown's education. Now, the administrators, the teachers, no, they do a great job. That's only the tools that we give them. We give them the tools. They can only work with it so much. So we need to do a better job of trying to get that focused. And that's what I'm really about. I would like to see this district succeed. The board's been shaken up multiple times. It's been unsteady at best. And I would just like to see us start focusing on what the district can do to make the students and make it more presentable for people to want to move here. And that's basically all I really wanted to say tonight. I want to thank you all for listening to me, and I appreciate it your time. And you all have a great evening. Thank you.
Sandy Yerger.
Hi, I put down general because there's a couple different things, but I'm a taxpayer, I'm a resident of Littlestown. And first I just want to say congratulations to Dr. Berman and all the administration and staff for the statistics that she shared last week. Very positive and very encouraging to hear. Then I want to just add my experience with Dr. Moyer, who's considered for the interim superintendent. I've been part of the Adams County Council on Governments, and in which he participates and contributes in that regard, especially as his general supervision of the Gettysburg area rec authority. But I've found him knowledgeable, in general, sincere, and willing and able to work with a variety of people to accomplish goals. So I think he'll work well with the board and the staff and accomplish what you all are having him here for until we find a permanent replacement for Dr. Mitchell. But congratulations. I hope you enjoy your new position. And lastly, I hope and believe that we're all saddened by the events of this last week with the murder of Charlie Kirk. Whether you agreed with his views or not, he was willing to discuss and listen to people. Making our voices heard in that way can bring collaboration, which is a real needed trait today, whereas angry rhetoric and accusations can affect others in negative ways. I hope we all have a desire to not have any repeats of that violence or any other words that could cause others to act in that manner. I believe that this board, each person individually, considers the information and that they received and does what they believe is for the good of the district. Taking into account their constituents and what they hear and see from the staff and the people who live here. And just a reminder that we have an avenue for a change. If people are interested, those are elections, which we have coming up. So hopefully everybody will make their voice heard. And we all do our best to work together and make the Littlestown School District a good place to be. Thank you.
Mr. Walker, I have a clarifying question because an accusation was made. Do you in any way view the board's actions in appointing or going through the process of appointing an acting superintendent as illegal or in any way has been alleged?
We posted a position and the position on the agenda for approval, correct?
Correct.
I don't see a problem with that.
Before we move forward tonight, I'd like to take a moment to address some of the issues and concerns that have surrounded our board over the past several months. We have experienced a period of significant change, such as board turnover, leadership transitions, and a lot of outside noise and social media objections raised under the Sunshine Act and questions about transparency. Our solicitor has reviewed these matters, and consistently, those objections have been found to be without merit. That said, I acknowledge that concerns exist and that public trust matters. This board is and will remain committed to following the law, to increasing transparency, and to earning the confidence of our community. We take seriously our responsibility to conduct business openly, lawfully, and in a way that invites confidence. Moving forward, you can expect this board to be extremely diligent in ensuring that we comply with the Sunshine Act, Pennsylvania school law, and all board policies, procedures, and guidelines. And when needed, we will enforce those standards so that our governance is fair, transparent, and consistent. It's also important to remember that your school board members are unpaid volunteers. Each of us give countless hours away from our families and work because we care deeply about the Littlestown Area School District and providing the best possible education for our students. As we turn the page on these past issues, our focus must return to where it belongs, on educating and supporting our students. The energy of our board and community is far better